welcome to my channel. I hope this finds you all healthy and happy. Please enjoy the upcoming video, and if you do, like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate you watching. Thanks. Hi there. I have come on this evening to share with you a little project that I'm doing. This is actually a little wall hanging that I am doing for my brother, and I was going to start at the very beginning and take you all along with me each and every step of the way, and I just got into it and I didn't do that. So what I'm going to do is, this is kind of how it is going to look when it is finished, and I will explain it all to you better at the end. But what I'm going to do is kind of dismantle it and then sort of show you step by step how I'm putting it together, building it together, and then I will explain the finished piece in the end. So I'm just going to go away for a minute and take this part off, and I'll be right back. So bear with me. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to start off by telling you about the image, and this is an image of Jesus as a carpenter, and there I couldn't find a whole lot of images about with Jesus portrayed as a carpenter, but here he is planing a piece of wood, and I really like this image, and so I should tell you as a little bit of background that my brother has been artistic all his life, and he went to college and studied for something completely and totally different, and then he followed a career for several years, quite a few years, that was totally not in his forte, but now he is actually a photographer by trade, and he's very, very good and very talented, and he's also a cabinet maker and a woodworker, and so I wanted to make him this little wall hanging for his birthday. Anyway, so I don't know what that's got on there already. So anyway, I started off with a piece of corrugated cardboard, as you can see here, and what I did was I gave it a little bit of a sturdier backing with two pieces of chipboard that I glued together, and then put it onto the piece of cardboard. The cardboard was relatively sturdy, but it wasn't enough that you could make it into a wall hanging. So I affixed the corrugated card to those two pieces of chipboard, and it made it a little bit more sturdy. So that is what I'm using as my substrate, and the picture that I chose had blue in it, kind of blues in the background, and so I chose to do the top of the corrugated cardboard with some blue acrylic and a little bit of a caramel, kind of a tan colored acrylic. Well, actually it's called Territorial Beige is the name on the acrylic. The blue is denim blue, and then I dripped some of my homemade, which I think it's still out here somewhere too. Here it is. I dripped some of my homemade alcohol ink down into the grooves a little bit, just sort of dripped and dabbed it on in different places, and then, like, here's the Territorial Beige, and here's the denim blue that I used, and then after I did that, I was pretty happy with the background, and but then I went ahead and I also added, this is copper, and I watered it down quite a bit and used my fan brush, and I did some splatters on the background with my fan brush. And so that's what, you know, I'm using as my base or my substrate. And so then I should tell you about something else. My brother was building a cabinet the other day, and he sent me a picture of it. He lives in Idaho, so he's kind of far away from me. And anyway, he sent me a picture, and I told him how beautiful I thought the cabinet was in his workshop, and told him that I wished that I could have some of the wood shavings that I saw, you know, on the floor there and around his tools. And because our dad also used to do that type of work and build things, and I always remember the smell of the sawdust and the wood chips, and it always it brought back nice memories for me. And so not too awful long after that, I got a little box in the mail, and in the box was this huge bag of wood chips. And I was just over the moon. I told him I was really excited about getting these wood chips, and the filings from where he planed the wood down, makes these rolls like. And anyway, I loved it. I told him that was mixed media fodder, and so I was just really tickled about it. And so I thought that was another reason why I wanted to make him something with that on there. So with that said, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put down a piece of burlap here that I also wanted for underneath my focal image. And so I'll go ahead and put that down. And what I'm going to use to put that down, I think, is just some tacky glue. Some where is it? Just some Aleene's tacky glue. And like I said, because I am so slow, you guys know how slow I am, how slow it goes whenever I do any crafting. I'm just going to go ahead and pause again, and when I have this part down, I will come back then and show you the next step. So I'll be right back as soon as I have that down. Okay, I have the burlap down, and that's just kind of what it looks like. Of course, you can see the glue isn't dry yet, but that really doesn't matter, because I'm going to just go ahead and put my other my focal image and a couple other of my little components down on here. And the glue really doesn't need to be, you know, the tacky glue doesn't really need to be dry for that to occur. So I'm going to stand up, so hopefully I'm still going to be able to see where I'm at here, which I think I will be able to. There we go. This is actually the verse in the Bible that refers to Jesus as the carpenter, and they were asking, isn't this Jesus? Isn't this the carpenter, the son of Mary and the brother of Jesus' siblings? And they were questioning why he had so much knowledge, and so they were saying, well, isn't he just the carpenter? And so but anyway, this is an old Bible that I use a lot with my for my projects and things. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that down with some tacky glue as well. So let me get my tacky glue working here. There we go. Tacky glue just, you know, pretty much holds everything. So move that down out of the way. There we go. And of course, you know, dries clear, so you don't have to worry about it making a mess of your project or, you know, ruining something. So there we go. And some of you may have seen me speaking about the package that I purchased from Amy, and they were these double-sided sticky discs, and well, all different shapes and sizes that I got from Amy. And this is one of the things that is just a perfect example of how those can be used. It isn't that I so much want this image popped up from the page, it's just that this is very bumpy, I guess you could say, down there, and so I just want it to make sure that it adheres and sticks, you know, really well. So I'm not only going to use some tacky glue, but I'm also going to use these little discs that are very sticky. So yeah, they really hold well. I've used them before. You may remember I said I had some of these from Amy from years ago, and I just was hoarding them, and so now I can use them as much as I like. I think that's going to be okay. I might need another one yet. I think I might put another one right here. So grab one of those quick. And I am trying to do this so that this video doesn't run, you know, into hours long at a time. I so wish that I had hours and hours to, you know, to watch videos and that kind of thing, but I just don't. And so I try to keep mine as short as I possibly can so that I can actually get videos out there for you, and so that, you know, I can try to keep up with watching your videos as well. So I'm going to put glue in here too, just in case, you know, there are places where it wants to touch down over and above the little discs. So we'll go ahead and put him down here. And I want it to be just ever so slightly over to this side, just a tad. So we'll see how that does. And I may just put a piece of wax paper on this and set a heavy book on it for a little bit and come back to you. I wanted to tell you that, or maybe I did already tell you, I hope I didn't, but if I did, I'll tell you again. I did seal this image with some clear gesso. And since it was printed on my my EcoTank printer, it didn't smear it, but it actually, because it did have these kind of like lines down through it, which I really liked, but it didn't smear it, but it did sort of change the color of my image, which that was fine. I mean, I didn't mind the color that it turned into. So I will and this is what it's looking like so far, and I will go ahead and set a heavy book on it, and then I will come back when that's a little bit drier. So be right back. Okay, I'm back to show you that I do have my my focal image down, and what I've done is I've taken a tiny little bit of my Stabilo All pencil and gone around the image just a little bit with the blue one. I'm activating it here with just a tiny little smidgen of matte gel medium, and I'm activating it with that because I really don't want any more liquidy or too much more moisture or water or whatever you want to say on the image here. I do want to smear the Stabilo All pencil just a little bit, have it smudge just a bit, but I don't want to do that with water. So I'm just taking this tiny little brush here. There you go. And I'm just dipping that in my matte gel medium and going around with that. And it is moving the Stabilo All pencil a bit. It's not making a huge, great statement, but it is doing its job. I just wanted a little bit more smudge kind of around the edge there. I had gone around it with my little I actually happened to find these little tiny ink pads here, and I found these at Dollar Tree, believe it or not, and I don't know what color they call this one, but to me it's a Payne's gray. It's exactly kind of a gray blue, and it's just really, you know, it's really a nice color of ink. I had gone around this with that a little bit, and then with some Anchor Blue ink as well, but it just, I don't know, it just seemed like once I put it down on here, like it needed something else. So I'm going to finish going around and smudging this, and I will be back with you in just a second. Okay, I'm back, and I have my image the way I want it around the edges here, and I've just placed the wood chips down on the bottom of the piece here, and I don't have them glued down yet. I'm going to do that here in just a second, and I think that's the placing that I want them in, I'm pretty sure. And then I've doubled up on a couple of the pieces of sticky back stuff from Amy, and that word is going to go here, and I needed this side of it to be built up because it was coming off of these two components here, and so it was, you know, kind of falling off the edge, so I wanted to build that up just a tad, and now it's more level. This is the Greek word tekton, and that means builder or carpenter. It's the Greek word that was translated into carpenter in most cases in the Bible. So I just thought that was kind of a cool word to put on there for my brother. And so I'm going to go ahead. This is going to get very gooey down here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use tacky glue, and I'm going to I'll turn this around while I'm yapping here. I'm going to use tacky glue, and I'm going to just smear it and then sort of place my my wood chips down in there and see how that is going to hold, and hopefully that'll hold. If not, I will have to do something else, and but I think it will. I think it will hold, and so okay, and here we go. I do have the wood chips down now, and I think they're going to adhere and stay relatively well, hopefully. And now I want to put my little metal components down on the piece. I have a couple of nails here and a little nut, and then a little nut and bolt here. And I think the best thing to adhere these down with is some glossy accents. So I'm going to go ahead and put these down. I think like this, maybe. I'm not sure how exactly I will end up fastening these down, but maybe like that, I think. And then this one's going to go up in this corner, and I hope you can see okay. Turn it around again so it's right side up for you, and that's how the components are going to go. And I need something for up here, but I'm not sure exactly yet what I'm going to put, so I'll have to think on that. And I've got some glossy accents here that is really old so I don't know if I'll be able to get enough out of there to put these down with or not, but I think I have some more, so if I need it I will get some more, and I'll be back in just a bit after I have that part done. Okay, and so I think I'm all done, and I've got my my metal components on here now as well. I put the bolt with the little nut screwed on it up here at the top, and the other little nut with the nails down here. I've got my my wood chips fastened on, and you might see some white yet because some of it isn't dry. And it needed something up here at the top, so I just put another little piece of the burlap on top there, and I like that. I like how that turned out. It's not over the top, but I think it's good. When it's all good and dry, I think I might go around the edges a little bit with some. I think I'm going to choose just Vintage Photo to go around the edge of it, just to give it a little bit of a frame. Draw your eye in to the center, and I really like how it's turned out. I really hope that he will like it. I had a time getting the wood chips to adhere. I used tacky glue, I used glossy accents, and I ended up even using a little bit of matte gel medium to get it to stick down. Here's a phrase you probably won't hear used often, but I didn't want to compromise my curlicues, so they were acting as little springboards, and I would put them down and they would spring back up, and I would put them down and they would spring back up. But I didn't want to compromise my curlicues, so I persevered, and I think I got them down. So that's it, and I hope you really enjoyed kind of walking through this with me. I hope that that it was kind of okay how I did it. I didn't really actually show each particular step, but I think that I explained it pretty well, and hopefully you know, if you want to recreate something sort of similar to this or whatever, I just hope that you enjoyed watching, and until I visit with you next time, friends, I love you and God bless you. Bye.